Jonah engaged Lloyd in conversation about explosive action, and the rest of the gang slipped away. Mission accomplished, for now. Chadwick Templeton? Kara asked Ian. That's the fastest fake alias I've ever... Well, that's the fakest fake alias I've ever heard. I went to boarding school with Chadwick, Ian said. Nasty guy. Cheated at tennis. They prowled the hallways, trying to look legitimate, yet scope out a place to stow away. No more jokes, no more teasing. They moved fast and purposefully, their gazes noting every closet, every common room. There just didn't seem to be anywhere to hide. They walked through lounges with picture windows and soft sofas and beautiful lamps, through a large paneled dining room and a book-lined library, even a small theater. The staff was everywhere, briskly walking through the rooms, checking to make sure everything was perfect. We can't get below decks, Hamilton said, after they passed a door marked crew only. It's locked card access. The announcement, all ashore who's going ashore, came over the PA system. Jonah texted Ian. Carl looked over Ian's shoulder. Got a breeze, bro. Found a cranny yet? Not yet, Ian replied. Told my man Lloyd you all already left. He'll check you out with the purser. So, better find a place to stow or go ashore. They're checking tickets everywhere. See you. Kara nudged Ian. A ship's officer headed down the hallway, checking tickets. They turned and went the opposite way. Heading for them were the same two young scientists they'd seen on the pier. Kara slowed her steps so that they could eavesdrop. Yeah, Hardcastle never showed up. Weird. Oh man, jumped ship, huh? Tagemeyer's going to bust a gut because Rollo handled the PowerPoint, am I right? Word. Didn't he have the cabin right next to yours? Yeah, at least I won't have to listen to Iron Maiden in the mornings. An empty cabin, Amy whispered. Without having to confer, they all spread out, keeping the two young scientists in view. One opened one door, the other door opposite, and they both walked in. The doors banged shut. Ian and Amy were slightly ahead. They hesitated outside the door to the empty cabin. A ship's officer turned the corner. Can't master the key card? He smiled. Ian held up a credit card, concealing most of it. I keep trying, but these kind folks were trying to assist me. He thinks it needs a slot, Amy said. I tried to tell him it's a sensor. She reached out to grab the card, and Ian dropped it. Ham speeded up suddenly and walked by, kicking the card under the door as if by accident. Oops, he said. Sorry, dude. He walked off whistling. The officer winced. "I wish he wouldn't do that," he said. "Crew members are a superstitious lot. We think that whistling calls up storms. Never whistle on a boat, young man. Bad enough that we're on a ship named Titanic," he muttered. "Wouldn't dream of whistling, no sir," Ian promised. "But now I've lost my key card." "I can help you," the officer said. "Your name, sir?" "Rollo Hardcastle." The officer consulted his tablet. "Yes, Mr. Hardcastle. With the scientific group." Ian ran a hand through his hair, mussing it. "Graduate student in geothermal energy. I know tons about volcanoes, but not much about keycard sensors, I'm afraid." Ian was perfect, Kara thought, admiringly. He'd transformed himself from a privileged Brit into an addled egghead. "Yes, well, this is a maiden voyage. Bound to be a few mishaps here and there." The officer took his pass card and held it briefly against the sensor. The door swung open. "Keep your hands on that card, Mr. Hardcastle. You'll need it to charge purchases and also to sign in and out when we go ashore in Antarctica." "Absolutely," Ian promised. As soon as he was out of sight, the others turned back and crowded into the tiny cabin. Ian turned to Kara. "You have to get off the ship," he said. "You've got to stay in Ushuaia." "Why me?" Kara felt her cheeks go red. "Ian is right," Amy said. "The internet connection is going to get spotty. We're going to have a digital coordinator, and that's you. You must keep in contact with Nellie and Sammy, and any Cahills who aren't in the outcast camp. And if anything happens, if we fail, failure is not an option. Ham reminded her. You've got to tell them what happened," Amy finished. Kara felt stricken. Amy and Ian both looked so resolute. They were prepared for anything, she realized, even not coming back. "But," she started. She tried to find an argument. She didn't want to leave them. She wanted to say, "You're my family now." "Aren't you?" "It's an order, Kara," Ian said. "I don't take orders," she snapped. Amy shot Ian an exasperated glance. She touched Kara's arm. "We need you to do this. We have to use your skills in the best way possible." It did make sense. She saw that. But why did she feel abandoned? "I don't want to," Ian nodded. "I know. Jonah doesn't either. But he knows he's too visible. Better to have two of you ashore. You can help us more there. Kara, you're the one holding the network together." His dark gaze was serious. "Each one of us has a job to do." Kara's anger drained away. She swallowed against the lump in her throat. I won't let you down." "You never do," Ian said.